What is up, everyone? This is Kronos, aka Adam. Good morning, or at least it's morning while I'm recording this, maybe not while you're watching this. And today I'm going to be doing my Summerslam preview and predictions for tonight's pay-per-view. Yes, it was a pretty big day. There was DC Fandom, there was NXT TakeOver, as well as AEW Dynamite on its special day because of the NBA playoffs. So I had a lot going on. I was trying to post as much as I could, both on social media and on YouTube. So hopefully you got to watch some of it, got to see some of it. And so as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Social media is down there. Just need some feedback from everybody. Let me know how I'm doing. As I said tonight is SummerSlam, so I'm going to go through the matches. I'm going to be using the confidence point scale. If you don't know what confidence points are, it's pretty easy. There are 8 matches, so you assign each match a number between 1 and 8, 8 being the most confident, 1 being your least confident. And if you get the match right, you take those points, you add it to your score at the end, you accumulate everything, and that's your score. Pretty simple. So first and foremost, let's get through this. So a couple things, obviously the tagline, you'll never see it coming. So, obviously there's going to be some surprises. Whenever they put a tagline to it, they do it to death. This one wasn't as bad, but it was, pretty interesting because, how many surprises are we really going to get in this pay-per-view? Will Retribution have an impact on any of the matches, the whole pay-per-view, etc.? Like, who knows? They've had a lot on certain matches, and then, on the go-home SmackDown show, they were pretty big in the very beginning, and then you didn't hear from them the rest of the day. So I apologize, I'm a little nasally. I just woke up more nasally than normal. How about that? So there's no Intercontinental or SmackDown tag team match since they were on the go-home shows of SmackDown, unless they are announced later on. If they are, I'll just put down something on Twitter. How are they going to incorporate Thunderdome into this? At first I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, and then the shine of it kind of wore off pretty often because, like most things with WWE, it's the whole analogy of putting lipstick on a pig. If you don't fix your creative issues or the biggest issues that people have problems with, then it doesn't matter how many lasers or LED screens you throw in there. Anyway. So I'm going to go through the matches assigned, and also what I like to do is I do, not just my predictions, but I do it a little differently. I give my shoot prediction, my kayfabe prediction. So my shoot prediction is usually just who I really think is going to win based on what I see, my knowledge of wrestling, and just my understanding of storylines, of these storylines that they pertain to. Kayfabe is what I want to win, because sometimes, obviously, what I want to happen isn't what's going to happen. Once again, I forgot to put my phone on silent. My bad. Unprofessional. So let's start. So I'm going to go kind of 2-1 here. So Asuka is going to be facing both Bayley and Sasha for the SmackDown and Raw Women's titles, respectively. Based on she beat both of them on the Go Home show, so she stood tall on both. Bayley lost to Naomi, which I thought was really ridiculous, on SmackDown in order to secure the fact, in a Beat the Clock challenge, and to secure the fact that she was going to face Asuka first. So Asuka has to leave with one of these titles. There's no way they're going to shut her out completely. I don't know if they're going to keep going with somebody having both belts. I mean, they did with Becky, Keith Lee. Now they do with Sasha and Bayley. Are they really going to keep just having one person hold both the belts, or 2 belts in general? And then also, they're going to be the Bayley and Sasha will be facing someone at Payback for the tag team titles. Are they going to be just completely beltless? So since Asuka is, I think she's going to come off with at least one of these titles. Since Asuka is a Raw competitor, Sasha is known for the short reigns. It'd be interesting if Sasha was to help Bayley to win the first match, but Bayley either messes it up, screws it up, or just doesn't help out Sasha in the later match. So my predictions first for this SmackDown Championship, because they are going first. Shoot, I think Bayley's going to win this. I want Asuka to win it, but I have no confidence in either of these 2 matches. These are my least confident matches because they can go either way. Only 1 point of confidence on this Bayley match, and for for the Sasha match, I only have 2 points of confidence in it. So next we have the Raw Tag Team titles, the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel. Street Profits technically stood tall on Ford because Ford and beat Andrade, and also they found out Zelina poisoned Ford and they beat him up in the back. Bianca and Zelina, I'm sure, will be there and get involved in some way, shape, or form. But I still think, for some reason, I think that Andrade and Angel Garza are going to win. I think they're going to buck the math trend. I still want Street Profits to win because I really want them to have a good reign. I really like them. I just think that, in the time of COVID quarantine, I think a lot of these reigns, especially that happened during these reigns, are not going to be recognized or seen as really strong. The tag team division in general has been a little lackluster, pretty much on all the brands, even NXT, which used to be its strength, or used to be a strength. Especially because Street Profits spent like a month doing all those ridiculous things with Viking Raiders. But I'm pretty confident in this for some reason. I don't know why. I got 5 points of confidence on Andrade and Angel taking those titles off. Next, we have a street fight between Dominic and Seth. Ray and Dominic stood tall on the go-home show, beating everybody up with kendo sticks, almost tying Seth up in the ropes, but Buddy was able to help him get away. Ray obviously will be in Dom's corner. This is Dom's first match, and it's against a top star. Even if it's a street fight, will we see a return of AOP or any members of them, Austin Theory or something like that, just to even the odds? Will there be some kind of Aleister Black return because he's been gone? So my predictions are, I think Seth is going to win. I think it'd be really crazy for him not to win this match. I know, obviously, but I don't think they need to put over Dominic right now. I think he's actually pretty over, especially after that beating he took a couple weeks back. But I do want, my kayfabe is Dom. I think that would be really cool. But I'm pretty confident in this. I got 7 points of confidence on Seth. Next we got the U.S. title match. Excuse you. She's up early too. Apollo versus MVP. So Apollo beat Shelton on the Go Home Raw to make it a one-on-one, so no Hurt Business and none of Apollo's allies can be there at ringside. Apollo's team lost, or actually I think it was just so that no Hurt Business, but I think they, this actually might play into one of my predictions. Apollo's team lost to Hurt Business in the 6-man tag later on, though. Will Cedric turn since he was technically not in Hurt Business, since Hurt Business is not allowed to go down? And obviously Cedric wasn't picked for the 6-man tag. He won and lost the 24/7 title and kind of was, he didn't have any of his guys out there helping him. And they kind of, MVP's kind of been chirping in his ear over and over again, trying to recruit him. But for some reason, I can't see them putting the title on MVP. I think he doesn't need it. I think he's been fantastic. Completely turned me around. When he first was coming back, I'm like, all right, here we go. He's going to be a producer. Okay, then he's going to be an on-screen talent. All right, he's going to be a competitor. I was like, what are we doing here? We don't need MVP. But he's actually been one of the best spots on Raw. So, predictions. Shoot, Apollo, kayfabe. I want to see Apollo keep it. I think there's a lot they can mine from his character, and they haven't even scratched the surface of it. It's been too short. I think that, whether they turn him heel, whether they turn him dickish or more kind of tweener, they have a lot they could do, and he's just a really good competitor, and I think they need to get him more on the mic because I do enjoy when he does talk. I'm pretty confident in this. This is actually my most confident, so I have 8 points on this one. So we got a no DQ loser leaves WWE, Mandy versus Sonya. So there's a lot that went into this. So Sonya with an absolute just killer promo on SmackDown, and where Mandy kind of didn't want to do the hair versus hair match, kind of alluded to what had happened in real life with Sonya being stalked by a crazy person. I won't get too much into that, but Mandy was actually the person that was with her. Obviously, they're not going to talk about that because, in kayfabe, they don't like each other. But, they were alluding to something that had happened without getting into the specifics of it. Mandy said that she could still see the good in Sonya and that she doesn't want to do this. And then Sonya said, oh, you must be, I knew you were going to want to change. You're second-guessing yourself. So it's no longer a hair versus hair. Sonya made it a no DQ loser leaves WWE because she just doesn't want to see her face anymore. But I can't really see either of them leaving, unless Sonya either wants to take some time off, for whatever reason, or to pursue Hollywood, or maybe one of them goes to NXT. I don't know if when they said leave WWE that meant all three brands or just Raw and or SmackDown or just SmackDown. So the one theory that I've seen going around, which is not mine, I will not take credit for it, but it is interesting. Sonya wins, but Otis gives up his briefcase to save Mandy's job. Now, whether Mandy would be in on it or not, I don't know. But either way, because they've literally done nothing with Otis and the briefcase, you don't even know that he has it based on the last couple weeks. But yeah, that would be really interesting. I don't want to see either leave because I think both of them, I really like them both. My predictions, though, I think Sonya is going to win. I want Sonya to win. I don't want to see Mandy leave, but I want to see Sonya win because I think they can really boost up her stock. Pretty confident in this. 6 points of confidence. Obviously, all of these, I know I'm not going to get all these right because I know there's going to be some shenanigans in some of these matches and or just I'm going to be flat out wrong. I wasn't too great on my NXT predictions. I was alright, but not great. Kind of middle of the road. Next is the Universal title, Braun versus Fiend. Braun stood tall on the go home, even though Fiend emerged from the ambulance because he chokeslammed him off the loading dock, which was just so overproduced, really corny. I was not a fan of it. Alexa has to get involved in some way in this match. Obviously, from SmackDown, Nikki had said that she's not the same person. She has a feeling something bad is going to happen, but we actually didn't see Alexa at all. But at the same time, I really just don't care about Braun's reign. I mean, I like the fact that they've turned him kind of monster-ish again, but I just really haven't really gotten into him. And I never think The Fiend ever needed a title. I think they really kind of botched that. I think they've tried to make him too commercially. I think he was just fine when he first started out, just terrorizing people and changing them. So, shoot, I got The Fiend. Kayfabe, I want The Fiend because I just want it off Braun at this point. Only 3 points of confidence on this. Very not confident. And then finally we have the WWE title, Drew versus Randy. Randy stood tall on the go home because Drew is an idiot, kept turning his head when after Randy had punted HBK and then caught a RKO. But this is actually, Randy's been doing just amazing, absolutely amazing promo work. Drew's been great. But at the same time, I think Drew's reign has been kind of, obviously, as I said earlier, hampered by the fact that it happened during the empty arena shows and really hasn't any, he had 2 matches against Dolph and, he really hasn't any really significant feuds yet, or at least ones that really are, defining of his reign. I'd rather Randy get this and then, in a month or two, lose it back to Drew. I'm not really a fan of the hot potatoes, but I think Randy should get the title at least for a little bit. Try to inch closer to that all-time rank. I think they want to do that. I think that's what they're looking at to do. And you'll never see it coming, but I think Randy will see Claymore in the face. But I don't think he's going to lose from that. So I have Randy for my shoot. I have Randy for kayfabe because I really just like I've liked Randy more than I've liked Drew, but I've really liked Drew. Just shows how much I like Randy. 4 points of confidence on that. So there you have it. Those are my preview and predictions for SummerSlam tonight. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know your picks. Let's see, maybe a little competition, friendly competition between me and you. Social media is down there. You can find me. And I'm going to be trying to be doing some more videos. I have my NXT reaction review to TakeOver XXX30. I'm going to try and do some more DC fandom, maybe like a top 10 things I saw from there. We'll see. We'll see what I have time for. So as always, be safe, love each other, and bye now.